described as going to see the doctor and getting well after the tough competition that he faced. He's fought some high-level contenders. Mexican Olympian Alfred Angulo back in 08 in Prim. Had a majority decision loss to Josh Clottey. It was a pretty... one of those fights that a lot of ringside observers would say, you know, could have gone either way. Many thought that Gutierrez actually pulled off the upset. That was back in 06. But here he has a much different phase of his career.
Well, Gutierrez has always been a warrior, a war horse, and TV friendly. Right in front of you, he engages you, but he's a shop-worn warrior. And we're going to find out just how shop-worn. Johnson's a bigger man. That doesn't help Gutierrez's cause. Johnson's been a junior middleweight his whole career. Gutierrez, most of his career at welterweight, only moved up to junior middle in his last 3 fights. So you would think that Johnson could take it on the outside, being a smooth and fast guy, or if he has to, he could push the envelope on the inside. You know what I like about Johnson?
What's that?
Well, was your father a fan of Joe DiMaggio?
Yes.
Everybody always talked about Joe DiMaggio, how smooth he was, how effortlessly he glided in the outfield. Made it look like he wasn't even doing anything hard. To me, Johnson has those qualities. He's very smooth and he just glides around the ring.
He's effortless, he's efficient as a fighter.
Very silky. Matter of fact, I was his manager and he continues doing good. I try to get him or his agent, I try to get him a commercial. They'll say, hey, he's as smooth as Johnson baby pack.
I'm pretty smooth with those 2 left hands. He sent the right hand to the body and then that left hand right down the middle and then repeated the left hand. Trying to target that head that time. Just off the mark was Johnson.
Gutierrez has been knocked out twice in his last 7. Well, we saw the left hand, the speed of Johnson, but you also saw the experience of Gutierrez. Very calm in there in the pocket, blocking the punches, pulling back, surviving the punches. He's going to need every bit of that experience tonight.
Cosmopolitan in Vegas for Friday night fights. Pair of Cuban junior middleweight stars in our 2 TV fights tonight. This is a good look you're getting here. And Yudel Jhonson in the black with the gold against the veteran Richard Gutierrez.
You know, at the end of the last round, at the end of the first round, Joe, both fighters were engaged even at the bell. And that's a perfect example of you must protect yourself at all times because the referee split second late getting in there to separate them, and the one guy just heard the bell walk away. Well, that guy would have had a problem. He would have been caught with some leather after the bell.
We had a fight in recent years here in Vegas, a heavyweight fight over at the Thomas and Mack, where that actually happened. Heavyweight fighter went down just a split second after the bell.
Gutierrez has to hope, if he's going to have a good night, that he can survive early and then push a little bit late. Get Johnson into some uncharted waters. Johnson's never been past 8 rounds. Gutierrez, the experienced man here, has been 10 rounds or better 8 times. So that's what Gutierrez's fight plan would be. Survive early, don't get too far behind, and then push late.
NCAA Women's Tournament presented by Capital One is Saturday on ESPN. ESPN, the exclusive home for the NCAA Women's Championship. At noon, it's Ohio State against #1 Tennessee. At 2 o'clock, Oklahoma and Notre Dame.
Gutierrez has been involved with some head clashes. He's been involved in a no decision from some head butting. Something that you hope doesn't happen during the course of the night. It's always possible with the style of somebody who's aggressive. You know, I talked about the physicality of Johnson, very smooth, good hand speed, knows how to fight, is technically good, floats around a little bit. But let's talk about his mentality a little bit. He's a safety guy. You know, he's a guy that's not a seek and destroy guy, Johnson. You can see that. You're starting to see it early on here. He likes to counter. He likes to get in, get out. You know, I'm telling you that he's a smart fighter, but he's also, his temperament is to not engage you the way Gutierrez's temperament is to engage you. And I think you're seeing proof of that this round.
End of 2 scheduled for 10.
I talked about the technique of Johnson. Watch, he slips the right hand, and he comes back with his left hand. Take another look right here, Johnson. This is the technique. He slips, and he counters with the left hand. And of course, he catches Gutierrez, because Gutierrez does not do one of the fundamental things you must do, Joe. Move after your opponent. Don't stay there and be a target.
The right hand is straight, just a bit low from Gutierrez.
You know, so far in the career of Gutierrez, kind of career where he shows up and gives an earnest effort all the time. He just hasn't been able to win when he moved past the B level.
Had that majority decision loss against Claudia in 06, and then he was impressive a few times in RL. Had the knockout of Teddy Reed. That was most of 07 and 08 where he really impressed. And then in Yudel TKO in 08. And he really hasn't been the same in the last 2.5 years. There's a solid left hand from the Yudel.
Gutierrez came in 2 pounds over the contracted weight yesterday at the weigh-in. Johnson's camp did not make him take off weight. That tells me something too, Joe. Not that he was nice guys. You don't want to be a nice guy in this business when you're giving up an edge. Your fighter is too unforgiving a business to be that kind of guy. It tells me that they're confident, that they feel that they can handle Gutierrez, and the 2 pounds won't matter. Gutierrez came in the 2nd heaviest weight of his career.
It's a good stretch of mixing offense and defense here in the middle of round number 3 from Johnson. So I'm landing a 2-punch combination, get out of the way, come back, and land another left hand.
You know, we've been doing so many Cuban fighters, and you know they're pedigree, great amateurs, and they train in an impoverished country where discipline is forced on them, quite honestly. I mean, they have no choices. It's a way of getting a little bit better quality of life in a place where there's not much of a quality of life for people. And then they find a way to escape and come over here to have careers. But I think we forget about it. For the people out there is that a lot of these Cuban fighters, when they do escape to come over here to have a better life, they have to leave their families behind. And that's quite a weight to be on somebody. You want freedom, you want a chance to get better things for your family, and then you have to give up your family to a certain extent to get against a low blower. The referees will jump in here.
Let's show you this bunch of straight south.
Yeah, but there's an excuse for that. But watch the hand of Gutierrez behind the neck of Johnson. Pull him down a little bit and pull the punch down a little bit. So a little excuse for that misdirection there on the part of Johnson.
Another good, strong left hand. And the knockout of Yudel Jhonson. Round number 4 of our co-feature here, Richard Gutierrez against the 9-0 Cuban junior middleweight Yudel Jhonson. Still to come, our main event will feature the much talked about Arislandi Lara, who takes on Carlos Molina. Yuriorkis Gamboa, their fellow countryman, the 04 Olympic gold medalist, will be in action tomorrow night. And tomorrow on ESPN3.com, Dimitri Kairov against Javier Maciel. So just the start of a big weekend of boxing.
You know, Gutierrez is just talking to me right now. And not really talking to me, but he's talking to all of us in boxing lingo. He's telling us that he needs to pull a rabbit out of the hat. That he's trying to find a way to turn this very difficult night around before it gets out of touch. He's turning southpaw. And that's boxing win for. I got a little bit of a problem here, Kennedy. And I got to find a way to get out of it. Now he turns back to orthodox.
After reading that left hand, all of a sudden he switches back orthodox. So a moment of desperation early on here in round number 4 for Gutierrez. Try to switch things up.
But give him credit, at least he's trying to switch it up. Before, as I said, before he gets out of touch, he's trying to find something against the superior talent so far. A guy whose style is not conducive to Gutierrez having success. Right now, Johnson's just a little too elusive. You know, it's not the offensive firepower that's bothering him, that's bothering Gutierrez. It's Johnson's defense. His ability to slide around the ring and keep Gutierrez from getting any offense going. Gutierrez doing little things for people at home. He's doing little things. He's just trying to lure Johnson in any way he can. He knows, again, he's being outgunned here. So a moment ago, he dropped his hands a little bit, hoping maybe to lure him in and then get the hands up quick enough to maybe catch him a sneak shot. Gutierrez trying to use all the experience that's in him. Joe Walcott, the former heavyweight champion of the world, used to do things like that. Adjust his trunks, take a little walk to the side, just to get his opponent to get relaxed and think that maybe he could jump on him. And then it would be Jersey Joe that would have to jump.
Good combination from Johnson again. Went to the body with a right hand, came back with a left. He scored 2 more times later.